Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one in store between the Dublin Celtic Tigers and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dublin Celtic Tigers and the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Dubliners, they come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12.
All right, here we go. 3, 9.
Operating from the gun, Murray. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
That's an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On 1st down, Murray. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be second down. A look there at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
Yeah, they just held them to a field goal. So to them, that was an almost complete performance because, you know, when you really shut someone out, that's complete. But that's pretty darn good, isn't it?
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Now let's go. Blue Lightning.
Here's Murray. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go. 19, 3, 19.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Murray now. Oh, it stays up. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. And now out is the Cardinal field goal team here. This a 33-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. So the first points of the night belong to our home team as they're able to take the opening kickoff and at least get 3 points out of it.
Yeah, and that helps the crowd, right? It helps people feel good about why they're there watching this game. They move the ball well on their opening drive.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Orchestrating the offense will be the top pick in the 2018 draft, and that's Baker Mayfield.
But when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you guys
right.
had the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
He got touchdowns. I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person. Obviously was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, what I loved was how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense. 4 touchdown passes culminated it.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And they'll run it here. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Daniil Hunter. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And on now is the punter. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at about the 28. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. Win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15.
Here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw. Murray. Over the middle, complete. It's Burgess. Give him 8 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Here we go now. Blue Niners.
On 3rd down, Murray. Throwing right, and that's complete. 3 catches last week. He's got 3 in the first quarter here tonight. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And past the 30 down to about the 27. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 60 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football. Give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
3-19.
To throw on 2nd down, Murray. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Already, he's topped 50 receiving yards in this first quarter, and he's got a 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray got his man complete over the middle. It's Kennedy, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Looking to throw. Murray. That's complete right around the 8. He had 3 catches last week. That one his 3rd on this drive alone.
So how would you describe that one, partner? Workmanlike right there, getting that first down, blue-collar type football?
Yeah, only needed 3, got 4, just enough. I like workmanlike.
I think it's pretty cool myself. Everything doesn't have to be high glamour in this game.
So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out, and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
That false start knocks them back behind the 10 now as they'll try again. 1st and goal. From the gun, Murray. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And give him a full 10 yards there. 2nd and goal.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he...
And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments. Let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And now back out comes the offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And a nice gain of 21 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. Plenty of scoring here already. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Dubliners with a football here to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down.
Set. Blue Lightning. Blue Lightning.
Here's Mayfield. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
And they'll go on the ground. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
2nd down, Mayfield. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Someone moved, flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
Throwing, Mayfield. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. They get the penalty yardage back, plus 5 more as they get it to 2nd and 5. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller. Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football. But you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Frank. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
This will be their first trip to the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Now let's go.
So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
3rd and long for Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. He's at the 50. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go now.
To throw on 2nd down. Murray. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
To throw on 3rd down. Murray. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down at the 28. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this one is right down Broadway. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turn. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
At the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, he's still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now Mayfield got his man complete over the middle. It's Simmons. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Set. 3-19.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A very good gain on first down, 9 yards on the dump-off. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from the desert after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the gun, Mayfield. Over the middle, complete. That's Frank. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Mayfield looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Simmons. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards on the play.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play.
Set. Green 39.
Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
So that'll back them up 5. That false start knocks them back behind the 10 now as they'll try again, 1st and goal. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Going to the air again with Mayfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Third and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And his kick here is good. And they'll at least get on the board here, still trailing, but 16-3 now. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the 2nd half.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Christian Kirk and company heading back onto the field. 2nd quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part, but they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. And he stopped immediately there. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go now.
So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they were losers in their ball game as they were outplayed by the visiting New York Jets. Carson Wentz leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, we're off to the Rocky Mountains, Denver, Colorado. See what's happening with the Broncos. And they were losers in that one to the visiting LA Chargers. 31-10 was the final score. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a really, I'm doing it though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to act on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Mayfield now on second down, and that is incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
Mayfield looks to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And this will be taken at the 13. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. They score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And they'll run it here. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray got his man complete over the middle. It's Burgess. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
This quarterback now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
To throw on 2nd down. Murray finding his safety valve here. That's complete. To the 40 and no further, so the razzle-dazzle didn't get him much. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 9.
Now let's go.
Operating from the gun. Murray. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball to the door.
Now a first carry for their fullback. Oh, he's trying to plow ahead, but I don't think he got there. He did it. That's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw. Murray. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
And shedding through the tackle. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Mayfield on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Right back to him on first down. And he spins through, finding some room at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. That good for 19 at a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Dropped at the 35, but he was able to display the agility there. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Here we go now.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. The Cardinals on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Murray, and able to find Kirk complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
On the run, this is Jackson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go.
They run again with Jackson. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the 4th. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. Off play action. Murray under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game, are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line it.
To throw, Mayfield. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. Looking at 3rd and a few inches.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Mayfield now. Well, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So they bring their punter out there now, standing just outside his own goal line. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
They go play action here on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it's a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Give them 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Looking to throw. Murray. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it out. We've got them now.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Now let's go.
On 2nd down, Mayfield again. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 3rd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Mayfield to throw it, and he will find his man on the outside. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Here we go now. Blue landed. Blue landed.
Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
So out now come the Cardinals. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate it because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
Here we go. Green,
Back to throw. Murray. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he's taken down inside the 30. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Now it's Jackson. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On third down, Murray over the middle, complete. It's Kennedy. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. That one looks like he'll throw here. And this will be incomplete.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wonder about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. They're 2 for 2 on third down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on third down. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And now out is the Cardinal field goal team here. And his kick is indeed good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off near the 42. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner, and just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Cardinals, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Dublin, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.